Hi there, and welcome back to Riella's Army of Dolls. Let's talk fashion dolls. This morning I've got two boxes to open. They are NuFace dolls, and they're ones that really get my heart pounding because they are the new mini capsule collection. It's been a long time since there was a mini capsule collection, and that was the one that contained this beautiful, pretty reckless Raina. Now, I did not manage to buy Raina from that release. In fact, I found her quite recently on eBay. These dolls have been completely out of my price range since the minute they were released. At the time, I did not understand how you could possibly ever order a doll from one of those capsule collections because it was like a second and every single doll was gone. But I wasn't a W Club member at the time, and now I am, and I have realized that so long as you're watching the video and you know exactly which dealer you're going to contact, actually the dealer dolls are a little bit easier to order than the lottery dolls. I watched the video, I fell in love with Yuri as soon as I saw her, and so I instantly got online to my dealer and I said, yes, put me down for these dolls, and it was locked in. So I have Yuri and I have Novae to open from the Audiovisual collection, and they look like really innovative and fun designs. First view of these dolls as I open up the boxes is definitely not disappointing. The colours are incredibly striking and the difference between the two is really standing out. Novae's really dark skin versus Yuri's overall just really pale look. You can see why they call her Angelic. The purple really sets off the white of Yuri as well. Now, the thing that I was sort of really interested to see when I started seeing owner pictures of these dolls was a clarification on the hair colour, because the owner pictures really did not seem to quite match the original promo shots from Integrity Toys. So Yuri is said to have Japan skin and platinum hair tone. I would say her hair really is verging on white here. It is beautiful. It goes really nicely with the outfit. I didn't know whether I would, like it more or less. I think that it's a smart choice because it gives her that angelic look, but I do think it doesn't quite match the promo pictures. I'd say pretty much the same thing for Novae. She is Nubian skin tone and her hair is meant to be silver. It looks a lot darker in real life than it did in the promotional pictures. That may placate some people who did complain about this doll being another very dark skin with very light hair, and that isn't fully representative. So people might be happy about that, but it still isn't a natural look. It's nice, but I think I did prefer the promo pics of Novae, as well as the beautiful dolls and their outfits. Both of these girls have interchangeable legs, which I think is great at the price point. And speaking of the price point, actually for me this is pretty affordable because the fact that I can get these dolls shipped from a dealer who doesn't have to send them all the way from the US, I get them from Taiwan, actually makes these a little bit more affordable for me. So even though the price point is a tiny bit higher, it actually is better for an international buyer. The accessory trays I've taken out to have a look what's in them. It makes me feel that Novae got a little bit, shortchanged here, because Yuri has her microphone. She is a singer, and the microphone is a simple accessory item, but it, makes her part of the music group, whereas Novae just has headphones, and I feel like she could have made some music as well herself. The accessories are a little bit light on for both dolls. As well as her headphones, Novae has a mobile phone, some jewellery, her extra hands and a purse. It's all nice, but none of it really stands out or is striking. I love her boots. I think they are brilliant. They are meant to look like she's got shoes with the over piece to, decorate them, and they are fab. Likewise, Yuri's boots are really nice. They're obviously made for her flat feet, which I think is an interesting choice. Mostly the dolls come with shoes for their high heels. I like the idea that it's kind of this angelic but still punk look that she's got, and I think the boots really go with that idea. In her accessory tray, again, a little bit light on feeling. We've got some socks. Her purse has a bit more pop to it than Novae's. It's got a few features with this lace-up look on the front and still white. She has some jewellery. Again, nothing particularly exciting. With this doll, I probably would have liked to see some dangle earrings. I think they would have gone with the overall look, and we don't have them. Her microphone, very basic, and her hands. So nothing to complain about here, but nothing to write home about either. Yuri's outfit contains a lot less, just physically a lot less than Novae's. You can see everything is miniature, it's literally small pieces, small amounts of fabric, but it's very detailed and has a lot of features to it. I like the little buckles and ribbons. It's got these layers of lace. I don't know that I think it is, worth as much as Novae's, but I think it's really impressive. It's a beautiful outfit. You don't have to get a lot for an outfit to be lovely. I do really like Novae's as well. I think this is a case where the overcoat goes really well with the other items, whereas quite often when I get Integrity Toys dolls that have coats, I kind of put them aside because they're really cool items, but they don't really go with the rest. Whereas Novae is a doll that I can see wearing her full outfit. In fact, both of these dolls, except perhaps the hat that comes with Yuri. Hats have to be amazing, I think, to wear them, because otherwise they kind of hide and cover up features of the doll's head. And I feel like this one is not amazing enough. But they're both dolls who I do expect to retain their original outfit because I think they're really nice. And Novae's kind of matches her lipstick too. She's not one of the dark skin dolls who they've gone and put really faux, bizarre coloured lipstick on. It's very nice, it's very subtle, but it also has a purple tinge to it that I think sets off her outfit. Angelic is definitely the right word for this doll. She is truly gorgeous and has such a sweet, contemplative look that she really charms me immediately. The hair colour definitely matches her clothing. It is nearly white, and I think that's a really smart choice because it makes her look very much like a complete package, not just like things mashed together. So personally, I think that hair colour is perfect. The clothing I really like. It's very small and simple, so I'm sure there are some people who are going to look at her and say she should have had more, what did we pay for? There's so little fabric. But at the same time, I think that it's really cute and it combines this sort of gothic Lolita look that I think again works for her with the idea that she's angelic but nonetheless part of this modern, cool, funky music theme. My only real complaint is that I think the ribbons are a bit weakly finished. There's a lot of ties to do. The top ties on at the neck and at the waist, and each of those is going to be a little bit annoying to do. Not only that, but the edges of the ribbons are starting to fray and perhaps could have been finished a little bit better with something that actually burns them and stops them from fraying, because otherwise they are going to degrade over time. I love the layers of frill and lace on the skirt, and this one has been correctly finished. It's got these really tiny miniature eyelets that really go with the punk theme and match the loops that form part of the shirt. The shirt, I would say, is not quite symmetrical, but it is very close. If you saw my previous review of the Imogen Lennox dolls, she had quite a lopsided, asymmetrical shirts, but it was much more significant than this. The skirt has built-in underwear, meaning that it won't come off or go out of place, and that is a good feature. The skirt closes with hooks, and the top also has a hook there. The sleeves are just going to slide on and off. It's always better if you are dressing a doll in this sort of sleeve to take the hand off first, because otherwise you're going to find her fingers catch in all of that lace, but I don't think it will be a problem with her hands off. Boots are designed for her flat feet. They zip down. There is a long tongue on the inside, which has sort of been crushed there. I'm not sure how we'll go getting her feet in the right position. I know that the tongue mimics a real life boot, but I feel like it's one level of realism we could do without on these. Did make zipping up the zip a little bit challenging there, and now it is sitting to the side, so it's not in the real position anyway. I think maybe these are boots that would be better without that. The boots look really cool on, and although I'm not sure, if I was designing this doll myself, if I would have given her boots for the flat feet, I think it's a fun feature that adds to that punk idea, making them pure white to go with that angelic theme, but with this Doc Marten punk boot, I think is really cool. I do wish the laces were properly done up, by the company. There is really no need to be undoing and redoing laces on doll boots that have big zips. lips, and so to see them, very loosely done in a way that's definitely going to come undone, it's just kind of annoying. They are actually really cool and nicely made, and they've got so many different details. They've got the real eyelets lacing them up, the little studs on the sides, the buckles at the top. I think they're a super impressive piece. Fully dressed, Yuri is indeed an angelic vision. She doesn't resemble very much the original Yuri who was made with the Lilith and Eden sculpt. This really has no resemblance to me, and I don't have a problem with that, but at the same time I do wonder why they called her Yuri 2.0, but she is truly stunning. Every little piece is beautiful. The earrings, I said I wished they would have been dangles, but actually they look really beautiful on her, and because they're kind of long, they do hang down a bit. I still kind of wish for dangles, but at the same time, that would have caught in her hair a little bit more. The microphone, it's not the first time I've seen a microphone from Integrity Toys. This is, basically the same piece, but they've followed the same colour scheme throughout with the white and the silver, and I think that that really makes it pop. Probably my biggest complaint actually about this outfit is not any piece. It's the fact that some of the pieces that we have hide the others. So for example, she is wearing her socks now, but you would never ever know because they're just not long enough to peep out the top. I think it would have been nice to make the socks slightly longer. When it comes to the jewelry, all of it is nice, but at the same time, I can't see much of it. When she had her arms down by her side, in fact, I couldn't really see any of it. The earrings are mostly hidden by her hair. You can see this ring now that she is holding the microphone up, but when she had her hands by her side, I couldn't see it at all. And the jewelry, on the other hand, is actually really gorgeous. These are my favorites of everything. We've got this beautiful dangle bracelet and this long ring that almost looks like a double ring or a knuckle duster on her. And it's really cool, but you just can't see it under her sleeves. If I put her arm down like that, you literally can't see it at all. It is completely hidden. When she's holding the bag, we do see it a little, but I still wish that, there was a better way of, displaying it. Or maybe they could have thought of different jewelry that would have been highlighted a little bit better. Like I could see a tummy chain, and I think this is a doll who a belly piercing would have been stunning on. I think Yuri is the absolute perfect companion for my Violaine Perrin en pointe from the Obsession convention. The theme and styling seems to run through both of these dolls with just a different colour choice for each one, and I love that. I'm going to be displaying these two together. I think they look fabulous. Yuri's white pale theme set off by Violaine's more tanned skin tone, her dark hair and her pink and gold clothing. They look perfect together. Novae has the Ayumi 3.0 sculpt, so this one is not a new one, but is a sculpt we don't see all that often, and it is beautiful. She has a Nubian skin tone, and I think it's lovely. It's a very authentic, rich, dark skin tone. I like that they've gone for colouring, which is, relatively authentic to the skin tone. The lips are not, really exaggerated, and although the eyes aren't necessarily, the most common colour for this skin tone, I think that they look really nice with it. The hair is not as pale as I was expecting, and I think that makes it a slightly more, realistic look. But nonetheless, it is of course not a hair colour that a person with this skin tone would have, but I think it is nice. I don't love it. I don't instantly look at her and think, wow, what a great combo, but I think it's nice. Her hair being straight and smooth doesn't have product in it, which is also a nice feeling after Yuri's, which was absolutely full of it. So only the fringe and these little side bits has some product to hold them in place. The clothing is beautiful. I think that they did a great job making a set which really went together. I love the overcoat. It has heaps of little details, flaps, real pockets, the belt hooks on the sleeves as well. I think it's all really, really nicely made. And I love it as a whole look. The skirt is made with matching fabric. It has a leather look belt, which is low slung, and it's got all these pleats along it, which look gorgeous. The t-shirt is a stretch fabric, so it fits her really beautifully, and it's almost like a scale fabric. It's pretty, it's in a good scale for her, and I think it just adds nicely to it. And then we have her boots, which I'll be excited to put on in a sec. These ones are made for high heels. They have studs around the top, they have zips, and they're made to look like they have a piece which is over the top of the original shoes. And yeah, I think that's a really cool style. Didn't have any trouble getting these boots on because they're a wider fit. The only, place to take care was wiggling them into the toes at the bottom. But honestly, they were pretty good. I was slightly concerned when I looked at the packet that they would be missing a stud, because I did see a little stud loose in there, but they appear to have them all, so that might just be an extra one in case a stud falls off. I like how they have this faux western look. Yuri has her gothic Lolita styling, whereas Novae has her western styling, which both the coat and the boots really draw in, and I think that is fun, and it gives them a point of difference. I feel Novae is kind of the odd one out of the three though. We've got Angelic, Yuri, and demonic Kumi, and then holographic Novae. I like her as a doll. I think she's lovely, but I'm not quite sure I get why the three of them go together. I really feel that Kumi and Yuri are a perfect match, and then Novae is the odd one out. And maybe there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just struggling to see why they're a series. Altogether, Novae looks really beautiful. Everything works on her, and I'm pleased to say that unlike with Yuri, I can actually see all the jewellery except for her earrings. Everything has been chosen so that it does go with this outfit. The necklace I think is a nice choice for her. It's simple. The necklace is a simple, almost choker style. The earrings are a little knots, but they're completely hidden by her headphones, which I think is a pity. And even without her headphones, they are hidden by her hair. Nonetheless, that looks nice. And the headphones are just a plastic piece, but they are very, very well fitted. I was pleased that one of her hands could actually hold her phone reasonably well. It's not perfect, but it's not too bad. And so she can actually interact with that. And the rings look good. It's a great choice not to have a bracelet for this doll, because we would not be able to see a bracelet. The purse is fine. It doesn't hang that well. If I were making this purse, I would actually give it just a little chain or a very, very short strap so that it would hang correctly. That was everything else that was in addition to her outfit. So I did say that she was a bit thin on accessories, and I do feel that with her. Her outfit is pretty luxurious, and it's, pretty over the top and cool, but her accessories I think are a bit basic. These dolls are both limited editions of 1400, so there aren't very many of them. I think that there are going to be dolls who are quite sought after. I know Novae was still for sale for a while because obviously her styling is less to everybody's taste, but nonetheless I think that these are pretty special dolls who are low quantities and going to be pretty sought after. I do plan to keep both of these dolls. I think that they are really beautiful, some of the best that I've had. My biggest complaint, and I think if you look at them side by side, they just don't go together that well. I said it as I was opening Novae, but I see it again looking at them. They're both beautiful dolls, and we can see the music theme running through them. But generally speaking, I just don't see a match here. You could say that they're meant to be kind of opposites because Yuri is all pale and white and Novae is very dark. But then we could have given her black clothing choices to really accentuate that. And yet demonic Kumi, I think she is the counterpart to Angelic Yuri. And then Novae, what's her role? Seeing these two with pretty reckless Raina, I do think that they feel like they are one and the same line. I can see, the similarities that the NuFace dolls have with each other, and the outlandish fashions that really draw on particular trends that are popular in society. I don't think that these dolls are disappointing in comparison with Raina either. She is one of the most sought after dolls who I have. Now, without any exaggeration at all, these are some of my absolute favourite IT dolls I have ever opened, and that is saying something because I have quite a few of them and there are some real gems out there. The reason I love these dolls so much is because not only is the style that they've gone for something that is really special and unique, but they really fit together. everything works. Each doll is a little work of art in its own. I do love Yuri the best. Everything about her just charms me. Novae is really beautiful as well, and I think they did get the styling with her right. I love the purple. My real qualm with Novae is that I still don't think she really goes with Yuri. I don't think she'll go with Kumi. And when I look at these dolls together, I feel like even amongst my other Integrity Toys dolls, Novae is the odd one out. That's not a bad thing, but it is sort of a surprise. I really feel that, you can see the link between Raina and Yuri. They look like they're from the same line of dolls, whereas Novae's styling, she actually reminds me a little bit more of some Poppy Parkers I've had. And again, that's not a bad thing, but it is mildly surprising. And it does mean that they don't necessarily feel like they are a matched set. I think I'll find some other friends for Novae who she goes with a little bit more cohesively. Nonetheless, beautiful dolls. I feel like I2 really knocked it out of the park this time, and the quality control was on point. Absolutely looking forward to seeing what comes next. And make sure you're subscribed to my channel so you don't miss it either.